Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Today I'm reading Part 7 of Ananda, Guardian of the Dhamma. The author is Helmuth Hecker. Conversations with the Buddha. If one also considers as conversations the silent inner rapport with a Dhamma discourse, then the whole Sutta Pitaka actually consists of Ananda's conversations with the Buddha. He was almost always present when the Buddha gave a discourse, and those few talks that the Blessed One gave when Ananda was absent, he repeated for him afterwards. The Buddha often addressed the Venerable Ananda with questions on the teachings, which were either meant for Ananda's spiritual growth or gave the occasion for a discourse to all the monks present. It is always more stimulating for the listeners when two experts discuss a subject with each other, rather than when only one speaks. In this way, many of the conversations between the Buddha and Ananda are discourses for the instruction of others. Several times the Buddha created the special occasion for a discourse by smiling when he came to a certain locality. Ananda knew that a fully enlightened one does not smile without cause, and he understood immediately that there was a reason for our question. So he asked the awakened one why he had smiled. Thereupon the master gave a detailed explanation of an incident in the past, a Jataka story, which had taken place at the locality. The conversations in which the Venerable Ananda took the initiative by asking a question are far more numerous than the ones the Buddha initiated. For instance, Ananda asked whether there was a fragrance which went against the wind, different from the ones of flowers and blossoms. The answer was, the fragrance of one who has taken the triple refuge and who is virtuous and generous. Another time, Ananda asked how one could live happily in the order. The answer was, if one is virtuous oneself but does not blame others for lack of virtue, if one watches oneself but not others, if one does not worry about lack of fame, if one can attain the 4 meditative absorptions without difficulty, and finally, if one becomes an arahant. So here the first step on the path to holiness is mentioned as one not criticizing or watching others, but only making demands on oneself. Ananda asked, what is the purpose and blessing of virtue? And the Buddha answered, to be free of self-reproach and feelings of guilt, and to enjoy a clear conscience. But Ananda asked further, what is the purpose and blessing of a clear conscience? The Buddha replied, it brings joy in wholesome thoughts and actions, happiness with the progress made, and gives an incentive for further striving. And what results from that? One experiences exultation in one's heart, is drawn towards the good and perfect bliss, and from that results deep calm and insight. In this way, Ananda inquired about many aspects of the Dhamma. Sometimes Ananda reported certain views of his to the Buddha so the master could either accept them or correct them. For instance, one time he approached the Buddha and said, "It seems to me, Lord, that good friendship is half of the holy life." Unexpectedly, the Buddha disagreed. "Do not speak thus, Ananda. Noble friendship is more than half the holy life. It is the entire holy life. For what would the holy life be like if they had not all come to the Buddha as their best friend to be shown the right way?" The best known remark of Ananda must surely be the assertion with which he opens the Mahanidana Sutta. Dependence origination, Lord, is very profound, but to me it seems as clear can be. Again, the Buddha disagreed. "Not so, Ananda, not so. This dependent origination is profound and appears profound. It is truly very difficult to penetrate. Because they have not understood and penetrated this one principle, beings are caught on the wheel of birth and death and cannot find the means to freedom." And then the Buddha explained to Ananda dependent origination in its manifold aspects. Once Ananda saw an archer perform extraordinary feats. He told the Buddha how much this had impressed him, and coming from the warrior caste, Ananda must have been temperamentally disposed to appreciate such displays of martial skills. The Buddha used this statement to draw an analogy. He said it was more difficult to understand and penetrate the Four Noble Truths than to hit and penetrate with an arrow a hair split 7 times. Another report says that Ananda once saw the famous Brahmin Janasani, a disciple of the Buddha, driving along in his glorious white chariot. He heard the people exclaim that the Brahmin's chariot was the most beautiful of all. Ananda reported this to the Buddha and asked him how one could describe the best chariot according to the Dhamma. The Buddha explained the vehicle to Nibbana by means of a detailed smile. Faith and wisdom are the draught animals, moral shame the brake, intellect the reins, mindfulness the charioteer, virtue the accessories, meditation the axle, energy the wheels, equanimity the balance, relaxation the chassis. The weapons are love, harmlessness, and solitude, and patience is its armor. Here's the quote of the day. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. May every living being, our minds is one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find and give in unity, may their minds awake to great compassion and wisdom and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha.